All right, everybody. I think I should sponsor myself this week. Actually, the real reason is I didn't make it down to the barn this morning to work out, straight up, and so this was the hat. I just haven't switched out the hats. Still have Roadrunner, who you should follow, and of course, OG Plum God. And so those will make it back into the barn tonight, and then I'll grab a new sponsor from the rack. And if you want to sponsor me, all you gotta do is send me a hat. That's it, man. Like that, I'm not asking for anything other than your hat. Maybe a hoodie. Hoodies are going out this week, so be ready for that. A couple things. I've had a lot of people ask me if I've calmed down on the influencers. You gotta understand how this game works, people. I've used the analogy before. I'm gonna repeat it here. It's like hunting season. Influencer season is over, right? Like, if you, most of you guys out there have hunted or are hunters. You don't get to hunt 12 months of the year because you would just decimate the population and they would all just be running scared and wouldn't be able to live normal lives. And so, if you know anything about it, rifle season's about 10 days here in Alberta. And bow seasons is about almost 3 months. And so, as you know, sort of January and February is basically influencer season. And then it really does sort of taper off into, just everybody gets to calm down and go back to living your lives. Although, I mean, there is the Rigid experience, which is coming up. It's not really an influencer thing, but you know what I mean. I think Rigid does a good job with it, to be perfectly honest. Then there's the Pipeline event, where you're going to have 55 dudes all taking the same pictures of either a threader or a grinder or a tape measure that Milwaukee has graciously put out. So that's like shooting fish in a barrel. So no doubt when that comes out, there'll be some ribbing. So I'm going to do, 1 or 2 memes a week on the influencers just to keep it within the cycle. You know what I mean? Keep it fresh. But I can't hunt them 24/7 because as you have seen, they've all just sort of receded into the background. They're just like, oh, maybe if I hide, he won't pick me. Oh, it's effing glorious. So, if you're one of those influencers, you can rest easy for a couple of months. Because that's how this works. So, I'm not letting off the gas. It's just, you have to let them get back to some normalcy in their lives. I will say, just to plug for my own shit, I think all the episodes from this year of Barn Banter from Matt to Dennis are all on YouTube now, and they're all on Spotify and your favorite podcast player. I did look at the analytics. Like 70% of them, you guys listen to it on Apple Podcasts, which was a surprise to me, to be honest. So there's that. It's Barn Banter with Baker is where you can find it on Spotify, your podcast player. And then there's Baker Plumbing 1956 has all the videos of our lives that we've done. So that's good. And I'm not doing any this week. I tentatively have Turbo on Sunday, for Cranked and Cranky Part 2. And I think we have set up with Dennis, the apprentice, which will be a good one actually, on pricing, how to find your hourly rate. We're going to go through the exercise of boiling down what you should charge per hour. So if you're going to be part of that, I think we're shooting for next Tuesday, a week from today, and you should bring your notepad because there'll be a lot of fantastic information about that. that'll be like a real numbers crunching into it, and Dennis is going to lead that, and of course I'll be like the color commentator on the back end. Tell everybody what's going on. Anyway, we just finished a Victoria Day long weekend. Rained all weekend, which it always does. And I had a wonderfully peaceful Monday. Didn't do much of anything, to be honest. And then I think you guys in the States have Memorial Day weekend upcoming, so you'll get to do the same thing. Anyway, hope everybody's well. I like most of you, and I don't really have anything critical to say. I am going to make some comments this week about Nexstar, Success Group International, which I actually did, which I think is now called, I forget what it's called now. If you can Google it, it's called something else. But it's very similar. E-Myth, all that stuff. So that's coming up here this week. My thoughts, not yours. Hope everybody's well. Appreciate you all. Look after your friends and your family and yourself, most of all. You are important. You have incredible value, and as you continue to expand your knowledge, your skills, and your experience, you will get paid handsomely for that. Keep at it, boys. Keep at it, girls. Have an excellent day.